idea that I was finally going to be getting married? Isn't it just so exciting? I can't believe that it's finally happening. And the man is super duper rich, too. It's perfect. It's just the way that I've always wanted to get married. Too bad a sad, boring, pathetic loser like you could never even dream of achieving something like this in your entire life. So that's why I thought I would tell you.
Wait a second. Is this Lucy? I can't even remember the last time that you and I talked. And just why in the world are you messaging me about this right now?
What do you mean, why? Did you not read any of the messages that I just sent to you? Are you stupid or something? I am messaging you to let you know that I'm getting married. Isn't that obvious? And just what is with that attitude that you're taking with me, huh? You ought to be much more grateful that I'm even deigning to message someone like you in the first place. Honestly, I show you all of this kindness and consideration, and this is how you show your gratitude to me. You really do have a lot of nerve, do you know that?
Literally, what in the world are you talking about? What part of any of this conversation is you being kind to me? Anyways, message received. I know you're getting married. Congrats, or whatever.
You know, you really are starting to piss me off with this crappy attitude of yours. I expected you to be happy for me. You should be much more cheery and excited that I'm finally getting married.
Well, I really just don't know what you want me to say to that. I mean, we aren't in high school anymore, you know? So if you're just hoping to message me out of the blue like this after all this time and expect me to pretend to be happy for you, well, it's just not going to happen. Now, is there anything else that I can do for you, or are we done here?
Well, you should just know that you weren't even invited to my wedding anyways. So there.
Okay. That is just fine for me. Thanks for letting me know officially, though. I appreciate that.
I mean, did you really think that I was going to let some weirdo, a little shut-in nobody like you into my amazing wedding? Yeah, a fat chance. After all, I know that you came to our high school reunion when we had it not that long ago. You really think that you can brag to everyone just because you got to go to college? Well, nobody even cares.
I wasn't bragging to anyone about going to college, but also I graduated a long time ago. You realize it's been years since we talked, right? And I never really expected you to even invite me to your wedding in the first place, so none of this really comes as a surprise. In fact, if that's all you came to tell me, I really don't think that we even had to have this conversation in the first place anyways.
Well, you should also know that I'm going to be inviting everyone from high school to my wedding, and that's why I had to reach out to you to let you know that you can't come. You and all your weirdo little friends aren't going to be invited to what is surely going to be the wedding of the century.
Yeah, again, you really didn't need to tell me any of this because I already wasn't planning on going. Nor was I even expecting an invitation in the first place. I wouldn't even want to go if you did invite me. You literally could have just not texted me anything at all and the outcome would have still been the exact same.
Well, I just wanted to let you know so that you wouldn't come begging to me later to invite you too when you found out about everyone who would be going. But the answer is no. It just isn't going to happen. I'm not even going to think about having to deal with a gross dumb loser like you on my big day.
Lucy, are you even reading any of these messages that I'm sending you at all right now? I don't want to be invited. I don't want to go. I didn't even want to know that you were getting married in the first place. But what did I expect from you? It's clear that you haven't changed at all in all this time. But can you just please stop messaging me? You're really annoying, and it bugs me. I mean, we weren't even friends to begin with, so there really is no need for us to be talking to each other now that we're adults and so far removed from high school.
you go again, trying to brag about how you think that you're so much better than everyone. You think you're better than me just because you went to college? I know that isn't it at all. You're just scared to even have to think about reliving our days in high school. That's why after you graduated, you even had to move states just to get away from me. And I stayed home and never left, because everyone knew that I was the prom queen, and that I would always be the prom queen for all of time there. That's why you left.
I was not running away from you or high school, Lucy. If you think that's what I was doing, that says more about you than it does me. I left the state because I got a scholarship at the college that I went to. And besides, plenty of people moved away after graduating. But you should know that I'm really not the same person that I was when we were still in high school. But there hasn't ever been even a single day where I ever thought about wanting to see you again. So anyways, congrats on your wedding. I'm sure that you're very happy to be doing it. But you should know that you have nothing to worry about because I won't be going.
Hey Rachel, are you there? I just wanted to let you know that I'm engaged. I guess maybe Mom might have sent you a message about that or something. But I also wanted a chance to tell you myself. So that's the big news.
Mom did tell me about that already, but I'm still so excited for you. That really is just the most amazing news, Eric. And I also just wanted to say that I really am sorry that I wasn't able to meet the lucky lady when you brought her to Mom and Dad's house.
Oh, it's okay. I know that you're really busy with, well, basically everything, right? Besides, there's nothing wrong with just meeting her at my wedding.
Well, I really am looking forward to it. I still just can't believe that you're going to be getting married.
I know, right? Anyways, I've sent out the wedding invitation soon, so that should tell you all the details that you need to know. And then all you have to do is RSVP.
Well, I'll just keep my eyes peeled for it then. Actually, I think the mailman already dropped off stuff, so maybe I'll go and check my mailbox now.
For sure. Just let me know when it all arrives for you. And there's actually something else that I kind of wanted to talk to you about.
Your invitation did come! Oh my gosh, this is so exciting! I can't wait to open it and see what it looks like! And yeah, of course, you know that you can talk to me about anything. What's up?
Well, the thing is that the person I'm going to marry was someone you went to high school with.
Oh, really? Well, that's kind of a small world moment, isn't it? I wonder who it could be.
Well, I think it was actually a girl from your same year. Because she's the same age that you are, now that I think about it. So I think there's a chance that you might know her.
Well, I just opened up the wedding invitation, and yes, I think it is safe to say that I do know who this person is.
Ah, I thought so. So you recognize the face and name from when you were a student in high school?
I do, yes. But have you told your fiancé that I am who I am? Does she know all that much about me?
Well, no, not exactly. I've dropped hints, but I haven't right out told her exactly who you are. I mean, I remember you didn't really have a good time at all in high school, and so anyways, I just wanted to give you a little forewarning about who I was going to be marrying. I just wanted to make sure that it wasn't someone that you had some kind of huge problem with back then, or something like that. You know what I mean?
Eric, I really appreciate how thoughtful you're being with this, but I want my high school days to not affect your wedding at all. To answer your question, however, I do know who this person is. We were in the same year through all of high school and had plenty of classes together.
Oh, really? So then it's not just another student, but someone you actually used to know pretty well then, is that right? Sometimes, the world really is just a bit too small, isn't it?
You really don't even know the half of it. Actually, it might just be better if you and I could talk a bit more about this in person.
Oh, really? You mean like go meet at a cafe or something like that? Is that alright? It seems a bit unlike you since you're always so busy.
I know, but I really do want to be there to help you celebrate your wedding, so I just think it might be best to talk about this.
Well, okay then. if you really think this is worth having a conversation about. I'll make some time in my schedule, and we'll try and find a time soon to talk about this.
Perfect. Thank you so much. I'll send you some times that work for me, and you can tell me if any of them work for you. And I really am happy that you're getting married and that you're happy with the woman you're with. I'm looking forward to being there for you.
Excuse me, but what in the hell do you think you're doing at my wedding? How did an ugly, creepy little loser like you manage to sneak your way in here, huh? Don't you realize that you're just being an eyesore for everyone here? You're ruining the whole mood of my special day right now.
Do you even realize what you've done? You really have no idea just how much trouble you're about to be in.
I should be saying the same thing about you right now. Now, I want to know how you managed to sneak your way in here and why nobody stopped you at the door. Don't they let people at the front know that you're not invited? Your name shouldn't have been on a list anywhere, and yet you managed to break in here.
I really think that you don't know what you're talking about at all right now. I mean, I didn't sneak in here, if you must know. But more importantly, I want to know why you thought it was okay to throw your glass of red wine all over my dress. I got dressed up and came here to help celebrate this wedding, and you went and did this to me. What is your problem? Why do you always have to act like this?
You know exactly why I had to do what I did to you. You really think that I'm going to let some loser from my high school days try and ruin my wedding like this? Of course you snuck in! I know for a fact that I told you not to show up here, and yet you had the audacity to show your face. I told you that I didn't want to see you or any of your weird, nerdy little friends at my wedding. Everyone else from high school was supposed to be here, but you! Or do you just hate me so much that you wanted to ruin my big day? Do you want me to hate you even more now?
Again, I really think that you're not getting the whole picture. You're missing a lot of information. It's going to go bad for you.
And just what do you know that I don't about my own damn wedding, huh? You're nothing but an annoying, condescending loser. And now you've gone and completely ruined the mood of what was supposed to be my big perfect day. This was supposed to be the happiest day of my life since senior prom. But no, you had to be the lame little creep that you are and show up where you aren't even wanted and weren't even invited.
And I am telling you that you are wrong about that. You don't know what you're talking about. You jumped to conclusions. You threw the wine and you ruined the mood. Not only that, but despite all of this being your own fault, you haven't even apologized to me once.
Apologize? You want me to apologize to you? You want the bride to apologize to some unwanted guest on the day of her wedding? You must really think the world revolves around you, huh? Well, if you're waiting for me to say that I'm sorry, you'll be waiting a long time. Besides, I was the one who told you not to show up to my wedding in the first place, remember?
And that's why you were trying to bully me out of your wedding? To make me go away? That's why you threw wine on my dress?
Of course. It's clear to me that my words weren't enough to get the message through to you. So I had to take more drastic steps. I just hope that you finally learned your lesson about doing what I say. Now get out of here and never come back again.
All right, then. But I guess you'll just have to explain to your husband-to-be why his sister isn't at his wedding.
What are you even talking about this time? Huh?
No, don't let me take up any more of your time. I'll do just as you say and go away. I can tell where I'm not wanted. But I just want you to know that you're probably going to regret this. Of course, when you do finally get punished for all of this, you'll have no one else to blame but yourself. What is the matter with you, Lucy? Can you please stop blowing up my phone like this? You're being so obnoxious and creepy right now. I mean, you must have left at least 300 text messages and missed calls on my phone.
You think I'm being annoying now? You haven't seen anything yet. But I want to know what you think you're doing right now! The wedding is about to start and things are falling apart really quickly.
And just why do you think any of that is my fault? Unless this is your way of saying that you've finally figured out who I am.
So then it's true. Everything that people have been telling me about you since I made you leave is all really the truth.
You mean the fact that I'm Eric's little sister? Yes, if that's what you heard, then that much is the truth.
But, I mean, this can't be right. I mean, I know that Eric has a younger sister, but he never told me all that much about her. Please tell me that you're kidding me, right? I mean, you're really his little sister. Oh, that can't be. This can't be happening.
Well, I already tried to warn you that you were missing some very important information before you tried kicking me out. Although, to be fair, I really have no idea what my older brother is doing marrying a woman like you.
This doesn't make any sense at all, though. I mean, how can you two be related when you're so far apart in age? I really had no idea that your older brother was, well, so much older than you.
You're right about that. We do have about an 8-year gap in between the two of us. But that still doesn't answer what I want to know. Just how in the world did you fool my little brother into wanting to marry you? That's what I can't understand.
I didn't trick him at all. How dare you even try to insinuate that about us?
Oh, really? Because I don't think that you've been telling my brother about who you really are as a person.
And just what is that supposed to mean, huh? You think you know who I am better than I do?
Oh, I think I know exactly the kind of person that you really are. I have more than enough memories of high school to back those thoughts up as well.
Wait a second. You haven't told your brother about the kind of things that I would do to you in high school, have you?
No, I haven't told Eric about all the ways that you used to bully me. Yet. It's clear that my brother must have some kind of true feelings for you, so I haven't decided whether or not to tell him the whole truth yet. And if you really do want to know, I'm leaning towards not telling him anything. What happened in the past was between us, and it really isn't any of his business.
That's right. It is none of his business, and it's just between you and I. So why don't you just keep your big trap shut?
Oh, trust me, I'm not going to tell him a word at all. But I really don't think that's going to make a difference for you at all.
And just what do you mean by that? What do you mean it's not going to make a difference?
I mean, just think about it. Think about what you did to me, and I really don't think I need to go that much deeper. Either way, I don't think it's going to make any difference now. But just don't say that I didn't warn you.
Warn me? Warn me about what? There's nothing to warn me about, and you aren't going to get in the way of me being with Eric.
You know, when Eric first told me that he was going to be getting married and I looked at the invitation, I have to say that I was honestly surprised to see that he was going to be marrying you. I thought to myself that surely this was proof that the universe did have a sense of humor and that it was a dark one.
Well, if you were surprised, then so was I. I had no idea that marrying would have to mean that I would be gaining such a terrible little sister-in-law. I have no idea how I'm even supposed to be enjoying being married when I only have the full picture now.
Well, then it sounds to me like you really don't know my brother all that well at all.
You really are just full of presumptions, aren't you? Who do you think you are to tell me that I don't know the man that I'm about to marry, huh? You really need to watch the way that you talk to me.
I don't know. I mean, you got married to him without even knowing that he had a sister who was me. It just makes me wonder what else you don't know and if you're going to regret what you've done.
Regret? There's nothing to even regret. Everything is going to be just fine and nothing you can do is going to change that.
I see. And just how do you think that you're going to get along being part of the family with my parents and I then? Huh?
What do you mean by that? Why should I care at all about you or your cruddy family?
Well, you do realize that now that the two of you are going to be getting married to each other, that this means that you and I are going to be seeing a lot more of each other from now on. You can only try and avoid me for so long. But sooner or later, the issues between us are going to come to head. So why don't we just talk them out now and get this over with?
Wait a second. Why are you doing this? I don't get it. I don't remember you being like this from high school. You were such a pushover who let me do whatever I wanted to her. But surely we can patch this right up. We can go back to being the way that we used to be. We were friends, remember? I was in charge and you did whatever I said.
Friends? Is that how you remember it? You really think that we were friends in high school?
Of course we were. We were always friends, remember? So let's just make up and forget all about the past and look forward to the future, okay? We can just let bygones be bygones and forget all about whatever we might remember about each other from back then.
I'm sorry, but that is not going to happen for me. I can't just let what you did to me go, and I don't think that my brother or my family is going to either. I'm not going to tell them about our past, but I am going to make sure that they know what you've done to me today.
Oh, come on. You don't have to go and do that. You're taking this whole thing way too far right now, don't you think? It was just a little bit of wine that I splashed on you anyways. You're not actually that upset about it, are you? I barely even did anything. Why are you doing this to me? What did I do to make you hate me like this?
You have done so much that to list it all right here would take too long, and I don't care to type out the essay of things that you put me through back then. But if you really want people to know about our past, how about I go and tell my family about the time that you poured hot oil on me when we were in home ec class? Do you have any idea how much pain I was in when you did that? I never told them who it was at school who did that to me, but I'm sure that my family would just love to know who it was.
No, wait. Please don't do this. You said you weren't going to tell anyone about anything that happened between us in high school. Don't you want your brother to be happy with me? If you care about him at all, then you can't tell him about us.
But I thought that we were friends. You mean you don't want me to tell him about how close you and I used to be? Just what do you want me to do in a situation like this then? Huh?
What do you mean by that? What do you mean, what do I want you to do?
I mean that you kicked me out of your wedding because you thought I was still the loser you remember from high school. And now you need my help. I know that things are falling apart over there for you, and I'm the only one who can explain things to my brother. But if I talk to him, I'm only going to tell him the truth.
Please, whatever you do, don't tell your brother about the wine. I'm begging you just to come back and set this all right. I promise that I won't do anything else to you. Just please don't say a word about how you and I used to be like that in high school to everyone, okay?
You know what? I think I've changed my mind about all of this. At first, I was going to try and let everything go and not say a word to anyone. But after all of this dredging up old memories that you've done, I think I've changed my mind. But you know what the saddest thing is? I knew that you were going to try and do something like this to me if I came today.
Please, just don't say anything to anyone. I'm begging you here. What do you want? Is it money? If it's money you want, then I can give you however much if that's what you want. Just please don't do this to me.
And just why do you think that I would want any money from you? Besides, what would even be the point in taking money from someone like you in the first place?
Rachel, please, this is my wedding day. I've been looking forward to this for so long. This was supposed to be the happiest day of my life.
And I think it might have been too if I chose to just let all of this go. But now you're trying to get away with acting like a child, and on top of that, you still expect me not to tell my brother anything. Well, the only one who is going to be able to let all of this go now is my brother. Your fate is already out of my hands. I've already told him everything.
Wait a second, are you serious? Did you really tell your brother everything, even though I was still begging you not to? Why would you do that? Did you send the message just now? Can't you unsend everything? Please, I'm begging you.
You really are starting to get on my nerves now. Do you know that? I wish you'd just shut up and leave me alone already. If you're upset about what's happening right now, then you have no one else to blame but yourself. You did this to me, and now you're begging me to make you take responsibility for your actions. Well, now, I have been patient and passive and a victim long enough. I'm not going to stand for that awful behavior anymore.
Are you really this mad at me just because of a little wine that I threw on you? Isn't this taking things just a bit too far? I'll apologize to you if that's what you want. Just please, don't try and ruin my marriage with your brother. He's everything that I've ever wanted.
And by that, you mean rich enough to make it so that you'd never have to work another day in your life. Isn't that right? I know that you're unemployed after all.
What? Who told you that? How did you find out that I didn't have a job?
Well, my husband told me about it, of course.
Wait a second. Husband? You're married? I didn't know that.
Well, I am. And if you want another big surprise, I'm married to someone else that we used to have classes with. You remember Logan from algebra class? We had other classes with him too, but that was the one that the three of us had together. Well, he actually ended up going to the same college as me, and we started dating while we were there. Of course, when we got married, we both agreed that we didn't want you or any of the other horrible bullies that you hung out with to be there. Anyways, now that I've said that, I'm going to have a chat with my brother. After that, I called Eric and explained to him what Lucy did. Then I told him about how I didn't want to tell him about Lucy and I's past at first, but that after this incident, I thought he had a right to know. Needless to say, the wedding was not to be. Eric stormed into the main hall where the wedding was supposed to happen and apologized to everyone, but said that he couldn't marry Lucy because of what she did to me. Everyone turned to stare at her, and she was so humiliated that she ran out of the room. Lucy's parents went to talk to Eric, who explained to them everything that had happened between her and I. They apologized profusely and said that they would pay for all the decorations and reservations for the wedding that wasn't to be. I heard that after that, Lucy became a shut-in who barely left her home at all. Eric was also sad from all of this, but he told me he was just happy that he didn't end up married to someone who had and would continue to hurt his family.
Wow, this is unbelievable. Helena, you're 10 years older than Derek? That makes you 1 year older than me. Do you know how insane that is? Good evening, Roxana. What exactly are you trying to get at here? What's so insane? I don't understand what you're talking about. What do you mean? How could you not get it when it's so plain to see? This big age gap is just really bad, you know? There's almost a 10-year difference between you and your younger brother. Doesn't that make you really ancient and almost too old to be his sister? And don't you think that's weird? How could you be almost like a motherly figure to him? It's kind of gross. What are you saying is gross, Roxana? Have you ever met a person who's had a child at 10 years old? That would be impossible, so don't make such weird accusations. How can that be impossible? Having a 10-year age gap is pretty wild to me. You literally could almost be a mother. You're definitely a much more older sister than a typical sibling. Well, I very much disagree with that, but whatever you say, Roxana, is there something else you really want to say to me? Well, because you're so old-fashioned and just an old hag in general, I don't see how we could possibly get along. Actually, I don't feel like being friendly to you. Excuse me? What did you just call me? There is hardly a huge difference in age, but you think you can just call me an old hag? Do you seriously not think there's too much of an age difference between you and Derek? Are you blind or something? You've already got gray hairs popping up on your head. We've also got a decent age gap between us, so I really don't think we're going to have anything in common. Why would you go out of your way to tell me this? What are you going to gain from making me feel bad, Roxana? I don't get what you're trying to do to me here. Whatever it is, it's not going to work. Why would you turn around and say things like that? Well, I guess that's where our big age difference comes in, since I'm clearly more mature than you are. You know, I was really looking forward to meeting my fiancé's sister and to see how well we'd get along with each other. When I met you for the first time, you were way older than I was expecting, and I was really disappointed in that. It's creepy how you're so much older than Derek. Okay, Roxana, you really need to watch what you say to me, all right? How do you think it feels to the other person when you say such nasty comments? Don't you realize how much nasty comments like that hurt people? Maybe you're just one of those people who finds it funny to diss others. Fine, I'm just going to make this plain and simple. Would you just stop hanging out with Derek? It would make things a lot easier for me. Since you're so much older, I already know that you're going to cause a lot of trouble for me in the future. You're just so annoying to deal with. I think it would be better to end the relationship with your brother as soon as possible. That would be great. What is this nonsense you're talking about? Why are you acting like this? What did I do to you that makes you hate me so much? Are you seriously asking me to cut ties with my younger brother? You don't want me talking to Derek anymore, is that it? Well, if you put it that way, yes. I don't want you anywhere near me, so that means you need to stay away from Derek as well. We're about to get married really soon, so it's better to keep the area around me clear of annoying and pushy people, okay? I don't understand what any of this means at all. I'm not even remotely pushy or annoying. Have you forgotten how much help I've given you? Don't you remember that I helped you get a job? Actually, come to think of it, I think Derek told me that you pulled a few strings for me so that I could get the job I wanted. But that has nothing to do with what we're discussing right now. I suppose I'm grateful for that since I received a job offer. But as of today, I no longer need your cooperation anymore. It would be better if you just cut ties with Derek so the situation doesn't get messy. If you don't want to embarrass yourself at my wedding by showing up after someone cut you off, then maybe don't bother coming. What? Why would it be embarrassing if I were to go to the wedding? That makes no sense, Roxana. I've got no idea what you're trying to pull here, but it's not going to work. You can't just shove me out of my brother's life that easily. If you'll excuse me, I'm not going to listen to this shamble of a conversation any longer. You need to take responsibility for the horrible things you've said. That's true, but I don't want you around, so I needed to let you know somehow. Just to leave my fiancé alone and nothing bad will happen to you. Are you kidding me, Roxana? You're not going to do this to my family. There is no way you're getting away with this. I don't think it's a good idea to carry on this conversation anymore. I'm done for now. If you'll excuse me, I've got some things to do. Derek, I need to ask you something. Does Roxana have some sort of grudge against me? She's being so rude towards me.
Wait, what? Where did that come from, sis? I don't think she's got a grudge. Do you think she does? I was expecting her to be more grateful, especially because of what you've done for her. Thanks to you, she's able to be a full-time employee.
Well, I thought she really appreciated what I did for her, but that doesn't seem to be the case when she messaged me.
Huh? What are you talking about? I'm not quite sure what you mean, Helena. What did she say to you?
Look, I don't want to go into too much detail about what she said, but she doesn't like that I'm 10 years older than you.
Well, I guess she was surprised to know that you were 10 years older than me, but I don't get why she makes that her business. It's not something that we can change now. We're adults, for goodness sake.
Yes, I get that, but she was also telling me not to come to the wedding. Is it still okay for me to attend the wedding or not?
Helena, what are you talking about? Of course you're allowed to come to the wedding. You're a part of my family, remember? It's only right for you to be there.
But then I've got to go back to work because I've got quite a few things to do. I can only show my face for just a little bit and then I've got to go.
Well, we can't help that your job's keeping you super busy. Also, please don't worry about what Roxana said. She's got no idea what she's talking about. There are times when I can't keep up with her because she's so moody a lot of the time. But maybe it's best to just go with the flow when it comes to her.
Oh, really? Well, if you say so, Derek. I just don't want anything bad to happen to this family. I suppose you take it easy too. Don't stress yourself out, okay? Okay, well, I better get going, but I really look forward to the wedding ceremony. I'm sure it'll be lots of fun. Well, I can't believe my wedding day's finally here. I am so excited. But, oh my god, you haven't come to watch. Roxana, you contacted me yesterday about the venue being changed to somewhere else, but was that all a lie? No matter how you interpret what's going on, it doesn't seem like a wedding is going to take place. Huh? What are you on about, Helena? You know I'd never intentionally lie to you, right? It's not my fault you don't believe what I say. Did you do all of this just because you hate that I'm 10 years older than my brother? Do you not know how insane that is? Are you trying to change the venue on me so that you'd make me miss my own brother's wedding? Huh, I don't know what you're talking about. I don't remember saying anything like that to you. Why would I send you to the wrong place? Don't you think that you're just being an idiot who's got no idea where they're going? Because you're such an old hag, maybe you just forgot all the wedding details. Okay, that's it. I have had it up to here with your distasteful jokes. They're not even remotely funny. You've gone too far this time. You laugh at me as if I'm such an idiot who has no idea how you treat me. You're going to regret what you've said and did to me a lot from now on. You know, I really don't think I will, my dear sister-in-law. It's so weird that I can call you that, the old hag sister-in-law. You know that you really can't blame me for you being a forgetful old hag. You should really get tested for dementia or something. I guess that's just what happens when you start to age quickly. You should do some daily brain exercises. Okay, I am so over this. You need to cut this crap out, Roxana. I am beyond the point of actually being nice to you now. Oh, boo-hoo. I'm scared of my old and wrinkly sister-in-law. Who's the one who forgot our wedding ceremony today, huh? You forgetting things is just going to cause so much trouble for people because you're so old and act like a grandma. Don't you think you've forgotten something, Roxana? Did you forget that you were supposed to go to your office today? Huh? What are you talking about? Why would I need to go to the office today when I'm having my wedding ceremony? You've been saying things like this for a while now, and it's getting really annoying. Do you really think I'd forget my own brother's wedding day? There's no way I'd forget my plans when I write everything down so I have constant reminders. I couldn't go because you ended up lying to me about where the wedding venue actually was, but you actually forgot about your job orientation today, didn't you? My job orientation? What on earth are you talking about? I haven't got a clue what you're on about. Stop making things up. Wow, the color from your face must be washing away right now. Did you seriously not know? The company that you work for is actually the company that I'm an executive of. How else do you think you landed the job, huh? I promised to let you know about it at the wedding, but you know things happened, so I couldn't remind you. There's really nothing you can do if you're the one who's forgotten to go to your orientation today. Now, just hold on a minute. What is this all about? Are you seriously an executive? Is there really a job orientation for this position I got? I thought that you talked this out with my brother. Did you let it slip your mind or something, Roxana? Was it not mentioned during your interview the other day or the briefing you had over the phone? Are you kidding me right now? The orientation is supposed to be happening today? Are you being serious right now? Do I really have to repeat myself with you? Isn't that what I just said like several times? If you actually checked your schedule properly, then you'd know that it was scheduled for today. I was expecting better from you. It was surely recorded onto the documents that you'd received when you got the job the other day. Is it not written down? Oh, right. Yeah, I've just checked my files and yeah, it looks like the job orientation was scheduled for today. I don't believe this. This is really bad. Why didn't you say something since it's my wedding day? This isn't the orientation that everyone attends, is it? Of course it is. All members of the company are supposed to attend a job orientation on their first day. It's your first day of work. You're not skipping your first day of work, are you, Roxana? You know that's not a good look, right? I'm not skipping work at all. You know full well that it's my wedding day and that it's been scheduled way in advance. I had no idea it would clash. In that case, you should have submitted a notification of your absence in advance. There would have been no problems otherwise. I was also wondering if you would even be able to do the submission correctly, but I suppose you didn't. I thought that you purposefully covered up having to do this so you could do the ceremony with no issues. I wasn't even thinking of doing that at all. I didn't even realize that this orientation was a compulsory thing. No, I think that you just forgot that it was happening and are just trying to cover your tracks. It says it's compulsory. Look, I need to know one thing. Is it true that you're a company executive, Helena? It's my first time hearing this information. I just heard from Derek that he thought I might be able to get a job because you had a connection in high places. Well, I wasn't going to tell you, and it's kind of on you for not asking more details about me. You know that this hasn't got anything to do with me or the company that I work for. I'm just an executive, and I'm Derek's sister, plain and simple. I guess you somehow managed to force your way into the company that I just so happen to work for. You really should do more research. I didn't know that you were in such a high-paying position in the company. If you are, you need to tell me things a little earlier. You know that's interfering with my job, and I can't allow that to happen. If you don't come to the orientation, you can't join the company. You said you wanted to become a full-time employee because you wanted to get all the welfare benefits that we offer. But I'll be honest with you now, my company no longer allows people to do that. Huh? What are you talking about? What do you mean your company doesn't allow employees access to welfare benefits? I'm telling you now that since you've not shown up for your orientation, there's no way this company can hire you ever again. Please go and find another job that you can apply for. I'm sure there are other options out there for you, Roxana. Now, just wait a moment, okay? But I thought I was given the job offer by the company you work for. You're not really canceling my job contract just because I forgot to show up to my job orientation. Surely you can make an exception, right? The job orientation day is also the day that you're supposed to start work, and that was explicitly told to you, Roxana. We're not going to hire someone if they're not going to show up to work on the first day. Did you really think you could play me for a fool today? Huh? What's that supposed to mean? I'm not playing with you, Helena. I didn't know what was really going on, and it's my wedding day. I've been so busy getting ready. It means nothing. You just didn't read the terms and conditions properly like you were supposed to. Nothing is sinking into you, is it? You know you've said the most cruel things to me, right? You hated me because I'm 10 years older than Derek. You know that's a really stupid reason to hate someone for, right? Then you go and lie about where your wedding venue was because you didn't want me to show up. What are you, jealous of me or something? No, come on, Helena. You take things way too seriously. It was all just a silly joke, okay? There were no bad intentions on my part. I honestly thought it would be okay if you didn't show up to the wedding since you're always so busy and stuff like that. And you've got no right to make decisions for me and to treat me like you've been over the last few weeks. You lied right to my face, plus you deceived me. I guess you might have a point when it comes to me telling you wedding venues change. I just didn't want to think that you'd actually try and show up. I don't want to hear any more of your excuses. I am very much over this game you're playing, Roxana. I showed up to the wedding earlier so that I'd be on time for the job orientation at the company. It's very easy to maneuver things around. I was planning to say congratulations and then leave to go to work. Because of you, I couldn't even see my brother, so I just wasted my time and energy. I'm not going to hire someone who'd lie and deceive people like me the way you've done to me. Are you kidding me right now, Helena? You're really not going to hire me because I accidentally sent you the wrong venue? I thought that I landed the job offer no matter what happened. I wouldn't have bothered with trying to get the job if you were just straight with me. You know what? Just change the date of the orientation so that I can attend and still keep the job. Then everyone wins, right? What did you just say? You want to go and reschedule everything just because it doesn't fit your schedule? Are you kidding me? Look, Helena, this is my wedding day, for goodness sake. I'm supposed to be walking down the aisle. If you're going to make me do this job orientation, it's just a matter of switching up the schedule just a little bit, right? You're an executive, right, Helena? You've got the power to be able to change things like that. It would be so easy for you. You can do that for me, can't you? What a self-centered remark you just said. I'm quite surprised that you turned around and said that. You really think that I'm going to change the date and time of the job orientation just for you and then inconvenience dozens of other employees starting today? Do you really think I'd do that for you after the way you've been speaking to me for the last couple of days? Well, I really thought that you could just help me out somehow since I'm really counting on having this job to earn some money. I'll tell you now that I feel so uncomfortable doing any sort of favors for you since you've deceived me so much. It's not much of a mystery as to why I didn't want to help you in the first place. I think it's fairly obvious by now that I don't want to help you out. I can't be your ally and take your side. I can't deal with you anymore. I'm going to tell Derek what's happened. Wait, what? No, you don't need to do that, please. Derek doesn't need to be told what's going on. It'll just stress him out so much. If something like this were to happen to me, there's nothing I can do about my job, and I'll have to give up on trying to find one. I've been looking for a long time. I want this wedding to be a success. I've been planning this for a while, so please don't say anything to Derek. It's not necessary. Well, it's too late, Roxana. I have already mentioned some things to him because he's got a right to know how his wife treats his sister. Excuse me? You've already told him? Are you kidding me? You actually said something to him? Why would you do that? Because we're family. It's only natural for me to tell him what's going on with me and what others have said. I was originally planning on attending the wedding and just showing my face for a little while before I had to go to work. But then someone went and stabbed me in the back so I couldn't see my own brother get married today. You know it was a terrible thing to do, Roxana. Of course, I had to say something to him since you lied to me and thought it would be funny to send me to a different venue. Nobody's laughing, you know. No, you didn't need to do that. How could you be like this? I hardly did anything to you. It was just a joke, and I was going to tell you where it actually was happening, but you never replied. Stop trying to destroy my relationship with my husband. You're always interfering with our business, and it's so frustrating. I just wanted to have the perfect wedding and for everything to go according to plan like it was supposed to. Don't you get that? Well, I also found out another interesting thing from Derek. You do need to learn how to communicate with him better, you know? Huh? What are you talking about? I'm so confused right now. Why are you trying to mess with things so much? You really are so annoying. I know that you owe him money. He told me everything about that. How could you just do this to my brother? You're such a spoiled brat. Are you kidding me? He told you about that? He said that he wouldn't say anything to his family. Now he's the one who's backstabbing me. You're all insane. So basically, the short story is you promised him that you'd get a job before getting married so that you could start repaying him for the money you took. Up until now, you stopped looking for work at the unemployment office and also quit your part-time job. Is that correct? Looks like you've also been causing quite a few problems for not just me, but for my brother as well. How could you do this to us? That's why Derek gave me permission and asked me to help figure you out. Now I know the true meaning of why he wanted me to do this to you. But these things have got nothing to do with anything since you're only my sister-in-law. What happens between me and Derek is none of your business. Please, you know what's happening to me now. You know why I really need this job. Please, hire me. I will work really hard for the company. Why are you even saying this when you skipped your job orientation? You obviously don't work super hard to keep your job. You'll no longer be working for my company, and also keep in mind that I don't recognize you as part of my family. I'm sorry, what? What's that supposed to mean? I don't understand. So you won't take me back? You can't just ignore me when I'm married to your brother. Well, Derek told me that he plans on cutting ties with you after all this wedding ceremony business is over. He doesn't want you in this family either. Hold on, what? He's not actually going to break up with me, is he? Just because of all these little misunderstandings, he can't do this to me. I wouldn't say these misunderstandings are little, Roxana. You treated me like crap, and you've not paid back my brother's money to him. He doesn't want to interact with people who are toxic to him anymore. He wants to suck all the poison out of his life. He and I don't want to waste our precious lives on people who are going to lie and deceive us. We want to live a long life away from toxic people like you. Are you trying to tell me that I am poisonous? How dare you say something so cruel to me? I'm not like that. I didn't mean for all of this to happen. I just wanted you to back off. From the moment we met and up until now, Roxana, I have tried to do my best to be kind to you and help you out in any way possible. I even helped you land a job at my company, and I don't do that for many people at all. You've always been making sarcastic and unpleasant comments towards me. I thought it would be impossible to say the truth to you, but it really isn't impossible. I can finally breathe and keep you away from me. I don't want to have anything to do with you anymore. You are too hard to be around, and you just make things worse for me and my brother. Derek is really reconsidering why he even wanted to marry you in the first place. He hasn't got a clue what he saw in you. Are you kidding me? Why would he say that? I've done nothing but love him with all my might. I only have a little bit of financial trouble, and it'll get fixed. It's our wedding day. He can't just ditch me on our special day. We're supposed to be husband and wife who work things out together. Well, he and I are really shocked by your actions, and you can't take back what you did. Look, I'm really tired of talking to you, and I am done with this mess. Why don't you and Derek have a little chat about your future and see what you can do, all right? I've got a job orientation to hold right now. Please, my dear sister-in-law, you can't just abandon me like this. I really need your help with your brother, and what I did to you was just a joke. If you'll hire me, I'll sort things out with Derek, and I'll be dedicated to him as a wife, and we'll live happily ever after. It's okay for you to attend the wedding now, okay? Even if I turn around and take everything back that I said, it's too late. You made your bed, you lie in it, Roxana. Also, don't you ever call me your dear sister-in-law ever again, all right? It makes me sick to my stomach when you say that. All right, on that note, I'm going to say goodbye now. I've got a lot of work to attend to. have a nice wedding ceremony by yourself. After all the commotion that Roxana caused to Helena, Derek, and the rest of the family, she desperately tried to beg for their forgiveness. Of course they didn't, because they didn't want her treating them like that again. She also didn't end up with the job offer either. Derek was very disappointed that things turned out the way that they did, but he had no choice but to cancel the wedding after everything that came out about Roxana. Even though they legally got married, they are currently discussing their divorce procedures. It seems like Derek was totally taken aback with how Roxana was treating people and deceiving his sister. Considering what Roxana did, it was all self-inflicted, and she brought it all on herself. Let's hope that she can find a job soon to support her lifestyle and pay back her debts to Derek.
You. What do you think you're doing, talking to my daughter like that as a woman?
Mr. Wilson, hello? What do you mean by calling me out for being a woman like that? And your daughter, are you talking about Kate? The one who happens to be my subordinate? Then perhaps this is about her being very late on her first day of work here?
That's right. And from what I've heard, you chewed her out over being just a little bit late for work. In front of everyone else in that department, watching her as she sat embarrassed in her office chair. Did you not know at the time that Kate is my daughter, of all people? I think everyone else in this company is very aware of the fact that she is my baby girl. And that means they all know better than to make such a scene with her over absolutely nothing.
And I myself was made aware of that before she came to work today. But her being your daughter and her coming into work on time on her first day are not related in any way.
What did you just say?
It doesn't bother me any that she was hired into this company because she happens to be the daughter of a senior director. What bothers me is that she thinks that because she was given a job in this company and that because her dad is in a high position, she can come to work 3 hours late.
Are you trying to screw around with me or something? Are you still in the office right now?
I am not making any attempts to screw around with you about this at this moment. If anything, I'm finding it pretty obvious that you're the one screwing around with me right now. And that's something you should be sorry about. So, what is it going to be then, Mr. Wilson? Are you going to continue with that behavior right in front of me? Or are you going to settle down now and let me handle my department and employees?
I asked if you are still in the building.
I am, and I am in my office currently finishing up some last-minute things. Would you like to come and see me for something?
I'm starting to think that the only way to settle all of this is by coming and talking to you face to face. I was already pretty upset with the way you've been talking to a senior director as a woman, but now I can see that you don't take your job very seriously at all. I'm going to come and make sure you understand your position in this company very well after today. Actually, come to me. Come to my office right now. I'm not getting up to go to someone who works behind me in this company. Especially not when they're a woman.
And why should I be doing that? I happen to still be working, so I don't have the time to come all the way over there. Perhaps you can just continue texting me like you are right now?
I want you over here immediately. Now, let's go.
Fine then. I'll give you 5 minutes of my time, so you better make it quick. Do you have any idea what you just did to me?
I want to ask you the same thing. Do you have any idea what I've been talking about now? You have made a grave mistake by chewing my daughter out like that on her first day working for the company I've worked so long taking good care of.
You think it's acceptable to punch me when all I did was tell your daughter that she cannot be that late to work? No matter who it is or what they think, it is obvious to tell after that who the real problem here is.
Shut up, woman! Do you have any idea whose daughter Kate is? You are fired! I don't want you to ever come back to this office!
I know very well now that Kate is your daughter, and I've known that for a while. But are you sure you want to be telling me that I'm the one getting fired now? All I had done was do my job in telling her that she cannot be late to work again. It was a simple warning. You understand that as her boss, I have every right to warn her of things that are not acceptable within this company, right? It's going to be a tough road ahead of you if you go through with firing me, and far tougher than what you've already started.
You're acting pretty high on your horse there, for being a woman. I'm sure you were only made into a manager after doing some pretty scandalous things here, right? An idiot like you should never have been put into the positions as a manager. So, something must have happened behind the scenes. Maybe the reason you're acting so out of line right now is because you're afraid of losing your position to Kate now?
Huh? I would stop it with all those comments right now, Mr. Wilson. I will only allow you to go so far with all those baseless comments about me, and this has been enough. And now, I'm a bit upset with what's happened here today. Not just a bit, but very upset, actually. If you're not going to come and apologize to me for all of that right now, I'll have to take this situation into my own hands.
Apologize to you? What kind of crap are you playing at here now? I would never and will never apologize to you for anything.
I was just punched by the senior director of this company. Are you going to tell me you're not sorry about having just punched someone in the work premises? There is such a thing as HR in this company, and they will most definitely not be lenient over you punching me.
They're not going to touch me. If anything, you should be the one apologizing to me so that I don't drag HR into this. And actually, as a way of getting that apologize from you, I'm going to have you fired from this company. I have every right to have you fired now. And then that way, we won't have to deal with anybody else getting involved. You made my daughter very sad. So take me firing you as my forgiveness for that.
I'm starting to feel as though you're the one who doesn't understand the position they're in here. But I guess there was no helping you, considering you've already assaulted me.
You're the one who was asking for it. You're the one who thought it was such a good idea to talk to my daughter like that on her first day in this company. Who gives a crap that she was 3 hours late? You all done for.
Well, then I'm going to let my father know about this.
You will? Go right ahead and tell him.
And if you really want me to be fired, we can make that happen for you. But before that happens, I just need to tell my father one thing.
Your dad has nothing to do with what goes on inside this company. I happen to be the senior director to this company, unlike whatever he could possibly be. It's disgusting to see a woman your age having to run back home to her daddy crying over something like this.
I told you everything I needed to say today. And now, as you've asked me, I'm going to leave this company and get out of your hair. I really hope, though, that after I'm gone, your daughter starts coming to work on time. Goodbye now, Mr. Wilson. Why are you calling me this early in the morning? I can see that you have something to talk about with me, but I'm not going to answer the phone.
Answer your phone.
Why should I? I just told you that I'm not going to. What's happened to you, Mr. Wilson? Did you not have enough yelling at me yesterday about how I'm fired and wanted to come back and say some more?
I had no idea about you yesterday. I never thought that your dad, of all people, would be this company's president.
Well, after getting a call from the company's president where he told you in less than a second that you'd be terminated, you finally came around to understanding the severity of what you did? Are you more aware now that you did something extremely unacceptable yesterday?
I understand now. I am so sorry about what I did and said to you yesterday. I totally understand now that was a fault on my end, and it'll never happen again. would you please be able to forget about what happened between you and I and move on from this with peace? Please allow me to apologize to you from the bottom of my heart.
I can see you're only here apologizing to me out of fear, but
What? What do you mean it's far too late for me?
it's far too late for you now. I'm telling you that although now you'd like to apologize for what you did, you took things way too far, and there is no going back from that. Anyway, all of that has nothing to do with me now, so go ahead and quit or something.
What? Are you kidding me? Hold on for just a minute. Please, don't make it seem like I'm actually going to be fired or something. I was just told by the company president to come and apologize to you for what happened yesterday. So that's why I'm doing that right now. Why are you not going to forgive me? I'm the senior director. I am apologizing to you like this, even though I'm leagues above you with the company's structure. So I think it's time you come around and listen to what I'm saying here.
Tell me, what kind of position do you really think you're in now to be talking to me like that? You are going to be fired soon, so I'm not sure what you mean by being the senior director there.
What?
But I do understand what you're trying to say to me right now. I see. You think that because you are above me in the company, I should just forgive you for all you've done? Well then, had my father never told you to apologize to me, you wouldn't be here texting me right now. I happen to have that all correct, right?
Wait, you have it wrong. That's not the only reason I'm here right now. I really do feel terrible for what happened with you and I yesterday. But I happen to be older than you by a bit. And since I'm older than you, shouldn't you be respecting my apology to you a bit more? I am apologizing to you. I am so sorry for getting upset with you yesterday over something I didn't completely understand at the time. There, I've gone and told you why I'm apologizing and everything. Now you should be forgiving me, right?
No way. Listen, you being upset with me yesterday wasn't your only mistake. Have you gone and erased the memory of you punching me yesterday as well?
That's a good point. I suppose that did happen as well then. I didn't happen to erase any of that from my memories though. But calling it a punch? Maybe you can just say that I accidentally hit you while talking with you. Do you really think you have to take things that far out of proportion? Saying that I punched you?
Excuse me? What kind of joke are you trying to pull on me now?
What?
You really think a joke like that is going to make me laugh at a time like this? Well, if that's what you want to think, then you are free to do so. But I've already gone and told my father about everything that happened yesterday, and we are planning to let the police know about this incident.
What? The police? Wait. Don't you feel as though what we're talking about right now is going down a very wrong path? The police? What the hell do you think you're talking about? What are you trying to say that I did wrong? I think you're the one taking all this way too far. I have been the one working as a senior director for this company all along, and you're going to act like that towards me? What the hell is wrong with you? Do you think just because your dad is the company president, you can behave like that towards the senior director of all people?
So this is the real you?
What?
You are such an idiot that when someone warns your daughter of one thing, you break out in anger. You can't even express your feelings in a healthy way and instead resort to physical assault as a way of making it known you can't control yourself. It is common in this society that no matter what the situation, you are not to resort to something like violence. What you did to me yesterday was a blatant crime.
A crime? No way it was a crime. I was just doing that to protect my daughter. Any father would do something like that for their baby.
Not the good ones. Your stupid excuses are not going to get you anywhere anymore, Wilson, so stop trying to make what you did to me seem okay or justified. You are an assailant now for punching me over nothing more than your inability to be a good human being.
Wait a second, please. Let's just both calm down here. At the time, I didn't think things would get this out of hand the next day. I just wanted to teach you a lesson for what you did by giving you something to be afraid of.
To be afraid of? What was that? I've been telling you it's time for you to stop joking around about all this stuff now. The only person out of this whole situation who should be made afraid of anything is your daughter, right? She was already late for her orientation and also late to her interview on the day of that. Yet you went and said it was all right because she's your daughter. And then on her first day to work, she was 3 hours late. You're going to tell me that she shouldn't be afraid of the consequences of all that? And when she came into the office that late, the first words out of her mouth were, "I'm sorry," in this very casual tone. Who do you think really needs to be the one made afraid of something here?
I'm sure she should be talked to about all this as well. But my daughter had only just graduated from college.
No frickin' way you're saying that as an excuse now. Everyone else that has come into this company started out just after graduating college. Or just about. Just because she's your daughter doesn't mean she gets a pass to slack off all the time. And as her boss, I was only warning her that by being late again, there would be consequences she'd have to face. Yet you went and punched me over that.
I get it already. I feel bad about that.
And also, Wilson, had I been born a man, would you have ever done anything like this to me?
What? What are you trying to get at now?
I'm asking if, because I'm a woman, I'm weaker than you are? That had I been a man, you would have never tried punching me. Well, I'm going to go on a whim here and say you probably did only punch me because I'm a woman. And if that's the case, then my God.
You're wrong. You have it all wrong again. I just wanted to protect my daughter.
All I was doing is telling your daughter how to be a responsible adult in this world. You didn't have to protect her from a dang thing, Wilson. All you've been doing instead of protecting her is using your stupid little ideas and excuses to make it seem like you assaulting me was justified. Those excuses aren't working anymore. I can no longer sit by and let you and that little irresponsible daughter of yours continue working in my father's company.
Wait a second, please. Hannah! I will apologize to you, alright? I have been this whole time. I am sorry about the way both myself and my daughter behaved yesterday. Right. I'll get my daughter to come apologize to you as well. That should make you more than happy, right?
No, thank you.
What? What do you mean, no thank you?
Having your daughter, Kate, come and apologize to me is not going to do anything more for you. You and your daughter are going to be fired soon. And that will mean you two will never have to talk to me again. Now, I'm going.
What? Are you serious? I'm asking you to please, wait a second. Are you really going to be fired for this? I have been working for this company for 20 years now.
The longevity of you working for the company has nothing to do with you assaulting another employee. Also, you should be happy that all your previous incidents weren't exposed before today.
What? What previous incidents are you talking about?
You thought this whole time I never knew a thing about what's been going on with you?
Wait. No way.
I know all about the things you've been doing. Well, I'm sure you actually assaulting me has been the worst offense you've committed in the company now.
Why do you, of all people, know about these things? I was sure not a single soul knew about me. Does this mean the company president knows as well?
Well, who knows? That's not something I'm allowed to tell you anything about now, is it? But if you don't want anything to get any worse for yourself, then I'd suggest you quit it with all your BS excuses and come quietly. I was thinking that by the end of the week, your daughter would be the only one getting fired. But it's nice to see the company killing 2 birds with 1 stone now by getting rid of you. I wonder if you'll be able to find more work after leaving here.
No way. Firing me? That's not fair. I could see my daughter going, but me?
Also, you are going to have to go with the police in order for them to question you about all this.
Please, do not let them do that. Please.
I am so relieved that there was a camera that picked up the whole scene, where you can clearly be seen punching me before yelling at me some more.
But you're making me look like some kind of criminal.
You thought of yourself as someone else? Now that we're on this topic, there's something I forgot to mention. Actually, I was just appointed to a brand new position that had only just opened up.
What?
I was given your position as the new senior director of the company. It seems that the company was planning on having you fired for a while now, or at the very least, demoted.
Are you kidding me right now?
So, because of that, you are no longer going to be coming back to this company anymore. Now, you and your daughter try your best finding new work after today. In the end, both Wilson and his daughter Kate were fired from the company. And after Wilson was escorted from the building, I came back into the office and went to my new office as the senior director, and began getting accustomed to my new position. As for Wilson, after being walked out of the building, he was taken away almost immediately by the police for questioning. He had tried to break free from them as they handcuffed him, but just before he was able to slip past one of the officers, the second officer hit him in the back with their baton, and he fell down to the ground hard. He would then spend the night in a jail cell before appearing in front of a judge the next day, in court, with my lawyer and I fighting him. And with both my father and I stating that he had assaulted me with the camera evidence, he was taken to court by us and sued for a decent amount of money. And it wasn't just money, though, but as punishment, Wilson would have to do community service for the next 6 months. This then led to his wife losing her love for both him and Kate, and soon after the court case, she left them. And of course, she was a housewife for Wilson, so in the divorce, she made sure to take half his money, before heading out of town, leaving him with his daughter. Wilson said he was doing everything in order to protect his daughter, but he seems to have done the opposite for her instead. They are both working really hard right now to find work, but with the debt they're in after paying me, I'm not sure things will work out so well for them. And from the rumors I've been getting about those two, I think that Wilson has started to get into gambling at night, which we all know will most likely never end well for the man and his daughter. But this is what those two deserve after all, so who really cares if they ever get back on their feet again?